So X-Men Apocalypse has come, it has landed, the X-Men are determined to cancel the apocalypse. So we're gonna get a couple things in X-Men Apocalypse. Big baddie who wants to destroy everything, and the origin for some X-Men that we didn't see the origin of before. But the origin is not an origin that we're actually interested in, just the character depth was Magneto's story, man. Yeah, spoiler talk isn't beat by beat talking about the movie, we're gonna skip to some Magneto shit. Magneto's story was pretty cool, he's laid down arms like, you know what, I'm going under an alias, I have a wife, I have a kid, I just wanna live my life. He's not using his powers, but she knows that he is or was Magneto, and so they're honest with each other. They have a pretty good marriage, pretty good life, living the dream in the wilderness. Until this big fucking molten metal thing almost falls on a dude, and he uses magnetic power and saves the guy's life, and he's like, shit, we gotta go. And even though he uses powers to save a life, people are afraid, and people are like, well, you are Magneto. You've done some shit. Just saying. So they're not gonna let it stand. They go and confront him, and his daughter, who's like not really Scarlet Witch, starts talking to birds. Like she goes Alfred Hitchcock, and birds start swarming around. This dude lets the bow and arrow go. Daughter gets plugged in the back through the wife, and Magneto loses his entire family with one arrow. Like it's the beginning of the Revenant or some shit. I was like, oh, they went there. You're all dead. Sorry. Hope it's been a good life because you're toast now. Sure enough, Magneto wipes them all out. Apocalypse uses that pain to recruit Magneto as one of his 4 horsemen. Now they're gonna wreck some shit. Which involving Magneto, if I'm skipping to the end of the movie, is a wasted opportunity with Quicksilver. The whole time Quicksilver's like, he's my father. I want to confront him, if not talk to him. And in the end, he doesn't actually confront Magneto. He doesn't tell him, hey, I'm your kid. I mean, Magneto's lost everything. He feels like he has no family left. It would have been a pretty cool thing for him to be like, you do have family. I am your family. And that could have been a good reason for Magneto to be like, yeah, let's not wreck the world. But Magneto ends up, turncoating on Apocalypse. That never happens. It never goes there because of that. Kinda bum me out. He does kick the shit out of Apocalypse though. That was pretty sweet. You're like, Quicksilver's there. Why wouldn't Quicksilver just zip around and just start punching Apocalypse? He starts doing that. Apocalypse gets the better of him, but at least it showed that he tried. Because if Quicksilver didn't try to kick the shit out of Apocalypse, people would have been like, why didn't he try to kick the shit out of Apocalypse? So now, that just can't happen. But it's the internet, so it will. Regarding the 4 horsemen though, I would have liked more character on a couple like Magneto we get the story on. Storm we get a bit of an introduction to, so that was pretty cool. Not in-depth introduction, but introduction enough. But Psylocke and Archangel, man, they're there to be muscle, pretty much. But granted, the movie's already 2 hours and 45 minutes long. Granted, for me at least, it didn't feel like 2 hours and 45 minutes long, which is a good testament to the movie. Can't show everything, I guess. But if we're skipping to Apocalypse, Apocalypse wants to wreck everybody, but like I said in my spoiler-free review, he doesn't actually start killing mutants when he could. You could see that as when he says, hey, you're all my children, and I want to bring you out of this shitty state, so we're gonna wipe out the world and build a better one. I just feel like if the X-Men are being enough of a nuisance, he could have made the call and be like, yeah, you know what though? Those kids just gotta die. Because if I don't wipe them out, they're gonna ruin my plan. Just kind of makes sense if you're thinking like an asshole. I can do that sometimes. I'm watching a movie, I'm like, alright, let's get into the mind of an asshole. Yeah, you should have killed him. Weird thing is, when you start seeing inconsistencies, is that Moira in this movie has no memory of ever meeting Charles Xavier. Apparently, but only she did. In X-Men First Class, she did remember meeting him. She just had no memory of the huge shit that went down. And even if she didn't remember him, the dude she was talking to at the CIA was like, you mean he can do that? He can just wipe your mind, and that's it. So at the very least, he would have informed her, like, oh, by he, I mean Charles Xavier, who you met. But in X-Men Apocalypse, she has no idea that she's ever had contact with Charles Xavier. Kind of saw that as an inconsistency. By kind of, I mean, I do. Same with at the end of Days of Future Past, you're under the impression, alright, this timeline is now what we're dealing with here. At the end of Days of Future Past, Stryker didn't actually get Wolverine. Yeah, Stryker turns around, he's like, I'll take it from here, and then his eyes glow yellow, so you know he's Mystique, so Stryker never actually got Wolverine. But apparently Stryker did get Wolverine because it's a pretty sweet cameo in this movie. Yeah, when the kids were in the helicopter, I was like, oh, they're gonna go to Alkali Lake, and that's why you see Wolverines. Another reason I wish they hadn't shown Wolverine, because when they were going in the helicopter, I was like, Alkali Lake, Wolverine cameo, holy shit, it's gonna show us the Weapon X outrage. By outrage, I mean slaughter, and that's exactly how it went down. It was pretty sweet though. When it starts panning up, you see the cables and the Weapon X helmet, I was like, oh, this is pretty legit right here. And you can totally see why he wants to crush that Jean Grey, because Jean helps him out. However, he doesn't remember Alkali Lake, otherwise he would have all the answers to his questions, so he apparently doesn't start getting a memory that sticks past short term for a little bit. For a while at least. He just has an affinity for redheads, doesn't know what. Funny thing is, in the end, the world still got its ass kicked. You think they're gonna be like, alright, so that Sentinel program, do we want to re-up that shit? I mean, if Bolvar Trask getting shot in the head was gonna push that program forward, what about that time a mutant almost ripped the earth in half like a fucking clay ball with magnetism? Because Apocalypse did some damage. Not enough damage if you ask me. That's the thing that irritated me. Really, the irritants in this movie are the things that irritated me because I wanted to see some things with Apocalypse that I didn't see. Example, in the trailer, it shows him growing big when he fights Charles Xavier. Turns out that's just in their heads. Yeah, Apocalypse and Xavier are psychically linked, and so they go into each other's heads, and they have a mental fight pretty much. That's when he grows big. He never actually grows big in the real world. But Apocalypse can and does grow big in the real world. I think he could have done more damage, would have made him more menacing if he did that in the real world. But I did like how the movie wrapped up. I am not gonna lie, I'm a fan of that shit. When Jean Grey was walking forward, and Xavier's like, Jean, help me, I was like, holy shit, fire, 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 fire. I mean, if you look at it, her dreams that she was having at the beginning of the movie is like all this death, all this destruction, and all of it was with fire. You could pass that off as psychic imagery, maybe like metaphorically speaking, it's like Apocalypse is gonna do damage, Jean just saw it as fire. But the fact that it was fire, I was like, is she seeing Apocalypse visions or is she seeing her own Phoenix visions? Yeah, I think we're leading up to the Phoenix saga. I like this. I did see that she glimpsed Apocalypse really briefly, but it's not to say the whole visions of fire were actually Apocalypse. Maybe she's seeing the Phoenix shit and the Apocalypse shit. I don't know. All I know is I saw fire, I saw Phoenix. At the end of the movie, Phoenix happens. But yeah, when she's all bang, just this Phoenix fire comes out. I was like, holy shit, it's the fucking Phoenix. Funny thing, the girl sitting next to me was like, it's the Mockingjay. I was like, oh, you gotta be fucking kidding. No, just fucking shit. Fuck. It's the Phoenix. That predates the Mockingjay by a very long time. Because what else could stop Apocalypse? She just kind of disassembles him at the cellular level. It's like, yeah, grow back from that shit, healer. But it sets up for the Phoenix Saga, and I hope they do the Phoenix Saga, and I hope Bryan Singer does the Phoenix Saga. There are theories that he didn't want to do X-Men Apocalypse, but he wouldn't have gotten the budget for the movie he wanted to do unless he did X-Men Apocalypse. But if that is the case, you gotta at least do the Phoenix Saga, dude. You remember what happened last time you didn't get to do the Phoenix Saga? You should probably do the Phoenix Saga. The build-up of X-Men 1 and 2 obviously shows that he wanted to do the Phoenix Saga, and the build-up of this one shows that he probably still wants to do the Phoenix Saga, although the studio probably wants the Phoenix Saga to happen, because what are they gonna do after Apocalypse other than the Phoenix Saga? I just want to see Bryan Singer Singer get his chance to do the Phoenix Saga. And at the end of the movie, when it shows them all lined up, wasn't that sweet? That was just sweet as hell. I mean, I'm a 90s X-Men fan. It's when I watched the cartoon. It's when I knew the X-Men. And those suits at the end of the movie are straight up 90s X-Men suits. Not just black leather for the sake of black leather because black leather is cool. No, they're actually X-Men character suits. And the X-Men post-credit scene is pretty sweet. There is a post-credit scene in X-Men Apocalypse. It does give me pause and makes me wonder, like, alright, so was the Wolverine cameo always planned? Or were they not gonna have it, but they were like, hey, we wanna do X-23. We need to lead up to it. If we're gonna lead up to it, we might as well have a really sweet cameo by Hugh Jackman. The point is, these men in black, these government guys, go to Alkali Lake, they take Logan's blood, and they put it in a briefcase, and that's the end. Which is build up to X-23, She-Wolverine, She-Verine, that's what I'm gonna call her. But wait, there's more! The Men in Black's briefcase was marked with the Essex Corporation logo, so this Mr. Sinister they're bringing in. So are they also bringing Sinister? Is Sinister gonna be the next baddie? Is Phoenix gonna be the next baddie? Have we seen all we're gonna see of Phoenix? I hope not, but I also want to see Sinister. Are we gonna get clones? What clones are we gonna get, including but not limited to X-23? The possibilities are endless. Guys, in the end, X-Men Apocalypse was thoroughly enjoyable. I enjoyed the hell out of the movie. Not gonna lie, Rotten Tomatoes, I just don't get that shit. Well, I don't base shit on Rotten Tomatoes. Really, how Rotten Tomatoes works, if you guys didn't know, it really is like, let's say a movie has 90% on Rotten Tomatoes. That just means 90% of the critics like the movie. 90% of the critics gave it at least a 60%. That's why that shit just doesn't mean much to me. I mean, the movie has its flaws for sure, but X-Men Apocalypse did what I wanted X-Men Apocalypse to do, more or less, generally speaking. That's all I